Swiss mountains, alpine meadows, Siberian forests, Arabic deserts. In the country of the Great Steppe, the country of romantics, brave trailblazers, strong by spirit people, conquerors of natural elements. Discover the new Kazakhstan with the program Extreme Routes.
Today in the program, Alpinism. Challenge nature, overcoming rocks, ice and snow with only one goal, to reach the top. Today we will touch the world of true romance, extraordinary beauty and serious extreme. Only forward, only up. Alpinism is generally mountaineering as a kind of sport, the meaning of which is to conquer the peaks of the mountains. In addition, the sports component of it is to overcome various obstacles of a natural kind, gorges, decays, sheer cliffs. All this is complicated, as a rule, by uneasy weather conditions. And yet, this is one of the best types of active recreation for lovers of heights and mountains, as at the top there is a whole world in which a climber can touch the mysterious and majestic realm of wildlife. Alpine Camp Tuyuksu is an excellent platform for any climber, from beginner to master of sports. It is located in the Malo-Almatinsky Gorge at an altitude of 2,450 meters above the sea level. The camp was founded in 1939. Today, it is not only a base for athletes, but also a picturesque place for lovers of mountain recreation. Mountaineering in the Republic began to develop in the 1930s. And the first ascent of Kazakhstan climbers was made at the Khan Tengri Peak in 1936. Since that moment, sport mountaineering began to develop in Kazakhstan. The first mass alpiniada in the history of Kazakhstan was the ascent to the peak of Abay with a height of more than 4,000 meters in 1995. The event was dedicated to the 100th anniversary of the great Kazakh poet, Abay Kunanbayev. Hello, Diana. Murat, very nice to meet you. How's the spirit? Great, but a little bit afraid. There's nothing wrong with that. Are you ready for lessons? Ready. Murat Atabayev from his youth dreamed of dedicating himself to tourist mountain hikes. However, the circumstances, study, work, family worries, for a long time, this was impeded. But in his 36 years, he still discovered the world of mountaineering, having made descents to Nur Sultan Peak and the Lenin Peak together with friends. And 2 years ago, he graduated from the school for the training of instructors, thus becoming a mentor for young athletes. Only forward. I have a special kit. I was given a sleeping bag. The nature of Almaty region is unique. It includes all climatic zones from deserts to eternal snows. The routes running through the small Almaty Gorge to the Bogdanovich Glacier, which is located in the Levi-Talgar Basin, are the most popular among climbers in Zailysky Alatau. Well, I passed stage number 1. It was a ladder, but good. Now we will go by car to the Alpine Camp, where the real trainings will begin. Here we come to the tract with a fairy name, Tuyuksu Gate. The terrain is the narrowest passage of the Malaya Almatinka River, as from the west, the mountain slopes of the Kumbel Ridge come close to it, and from the east, spurs and steep cliffs of the peaks Abay and Amangeldi. Well, here we are. That's the first obstacle. In general, I saw some guys on the mountain who are already engaged in alpinism, and now I join them. A climber shall have following equipment: a helmet, a harness, 3 carabiners, a basket-type trigger, a lifeline, a backpack of 30 to 60 liters, trekking sticks, sunglasses, and sunblock. I, as a beginner, also need a sleeping bag, a carpet mat, a simple set of dishes, a mug, a bowl, and a spoon, as well as a headlamp. It is not so easy to bear all this. Clothing should be appropriate, starting with thermal underwear, ending with a windproof jacket and stiff mountain boots. The main idea of the entire costume for climbing is the ability to regulate heat exchange by adding or removing the next layer of clothing. Those wishing to conquer the mountains should remember that the weather in the mountains can change several times, even within 1 hour. The main thing is the helmet. Because we only have one head. Hair secured as much as possible. Hair, too, must be removed as much as possible inside, so that they do not interfere and do not get stuck in some devices. You can fix it. Fine? Yes. Nice. It should not move, so as not to fall. It seems to be sitting tightly. Well, that's all. The helmet is quite light, differs from the snowboard. Here is the safety system, but we'll wear it directly next to the rock.
Отлично.
Все, берешь ее.
That's my belay. Are you ready? Yes. Ready for adventure. Let's go.
Снег идет красивый.
Обещали остаться?
During my classes, I met several mountaineers who have been passionate about this sport for many years, and today they are here, preparing for the competition. For example, Alexander has been doing mountaineering since the childhood. Later, this hobby resulted in trekking and rock climbing. Mountaineering is a high art. It requires serious preparation, not only physical but also the strength of the spirit. Go forward, overcoming yourself, observe extreme caution, and at the same time be selflessly fearless. That's what it means to conquer the mountain. By the way, the climbers themselves rarely use the word conquer in their activities. They're convinced that the mountain must be treated with respect, and maybe then it will allow you to ascend it. You take the height. On steep rocks you can always brake. It is such a dangerous sport that it can be called extreme. We also have aggressive mountains which you can climb and at the same time get the maximum pleasure. And also there's a smooth relief where an ordinary person can go without any difficulty. In recent years, we have a great influx of foreigners who come here to climb and just to walk. I would advise you to go to the moraine lakes. They are simply gorgeous. There is a Manshuk-Mametova lake. The lake has a different color at different periods of time. Turquoise, blue, dark. If you climb higher in the pass, you can see that the lake has the shape of a heart. Well, it's time to take the first lessons. Now, Diana, in order to tie you to the safety rope, there is such a safety system. Do you know it? Yes. I'm already familiar with the principle. I put it on already, you know. We put such devices on boots to climb on slippery, wet rocks.
По скользким, мокрым скалам существуют кошки и существуют.
And there are ice tools. They can be different. We have the original variant.
Они бывают разные, такие бывают самодельные, а вы сейчас полезете с настоящими. Вот. Ледовые инструменты.
Ух ты.
Simply speaking, ice access.
Койла?
Да, то есть у них
They have a specially curved spout to get well into the ice or to climb the rocks along microhooks.
по микрозацепам.
It should be noted that a good instructor should have not just a great experience, but also a gift of foresight to some extent.
Привяжем к тебе страховочную веревку, и ты полезешь.
Now we will tie a safety rope to you, and you'll climb yourself. The athlete should always have 3 support points. These are 2 legs, 1 hand when moving, or 2 hands, and 1 foot. You see, this is considered the most reliable way of movement.
Способом передвижения. Смотрите, койла.
Look, ice axes do not chop, but are gently put and pushed down.
Самым носиком и нагружается.
If we start to push them here, they naturally will be displaced.
Сюда, то они, естественно, у нас повылетают. То есть
That is, push here, hands wider away from the head. If you put this way, you can get this hammer on the head.
то можно получить молоточком или вот этой тяпочкой по голове. На скале ищите нормальную точку, которая...
On the rock, look for a normal point, in which at least an ice axe can stand. They slide on such sloping rocks, but even a small tag can hold, and the rocks here should be used.
Такие щели, вот эти щели, они могут быть использованы.
Today, there are young mountaineers among us. For example, Maya began to train hard only a few months ago, but she already fell in love with this active form of recreation.
Я здесь лучше. Человеческие
I'm better here. Human qualities are different now. They're developing team spirit, understanding each other, without words, openness, the desire to help always. Apparently, I lack them, therefore, I came here.
не хватало, и я пришла.
Of the area where he plans to climb, as well as with the peculiarities of climatic conditions.
Вот, надо ставить 2 ледоруба.
It is necessary to insert 2 ice axes. Then we are looking for a place for the foot.
В трещинку, либо даже в маленький зацеп. Даже не обязательно искать.
We need to use every opportunity, not looking for the better conditions.
Вот.
Here, put your feet, climb up, look for the next one.
Ищите следующий. Вот, понятно?
Here, you understand? I see. What if it slips? Then you shall hang on a rope. That will save you.
Спасет.
Можно я просто попробую?
Can I just try to put a spout? Of course.
Так,
И грузите самое.
And press it down, most importantly.
вот так?
На, попробуй.
Они...
And they really would hold me? Yes. It is better to put it higher since you can reach with your hand. Here. The rubber does not slip, so here.
Она не так скользит. Вот. Попробуйте.
Try to hang on them.
Даже не ставя ноги.
Without even putting your feet, just hang.
Просто
Присядьте.
повисли? Ага.
Right. Are you feeling it? Yes.
Так.
Well, now with your feet.
А вот где тут? Куда?
Ноги
Where is it? Where? You have to put your feet in front so you can use these rocks.
Можно, да, вот эти вот полочки использовать. Это вот у скалолазов.
Rock climbers use rock shoes,
На мокром. На мокром.
but they will slide here on a wet rock, but ice axes are kept steadily.
Мамочка.
Oh dear.
Мы сейчас попробуем.
Now try with belay.
И у вас,
I think it's just unreal.
ну вот здесь вот поположим. И у вас, я думаю,
I think you will succeed. Oh, hooray! I'm holding on. I'm holding on. To say that it is not easy to go through the whole route is to say nothing. The first rock was a serious obstacle for me. After several attempts to climb to its top, I suffered a bitter fiasco. So I was given the opportunity to go down to rest. It's really very difficult, and I think every mountaineer climbing to the top has every right to be proud of himself, because here you need to not just overcome the mountain, but overcome yourself. The person is curious. It is a quality that makes us descend into caves, climb to the tops, or dive underwater. The most reckless of us do not get tired of looking for new difficult routes.
Человек, который никогда не
A person who never went to the mountains and did not ascend the top is unlikely to understand, and it is very difficult for him to explain what a person feels when climbing the peak or just being in the mountains. His vision and worldview are changing and other values are emerging. Being in the city, people separate themselves from nature. They seem to struggle with it, somehow condemn it. The weather today is not too hot or too cold, and here we accept everything as is. In other words, we dissolve in the elements, as our colleague said. And today, I'm one of those who have a thirst for adventures. I can't even express exactly my vivid emotions, because we are waiting for a real ascent. We have now created a rope team of 3 people. Diana is ours, and it's necessary to snap into the central carabiner in a team, and the carabiner necessarily must be locking. This is one of the rules of climbers. Does it mean fixed? Yes, the twisted lock in carabiner means that it is fixed. We now have the first stage, a steep climb to the mountain. First, we rise, then we traverse the second stage. As a rule, the rope team consists of 2 or 3 athletes, so they are sometimes called shortly deuces or triplets. The first participant paves the route, the second provides belay, and the third carries equipment, so I'm responsible for this backpack. Not far from the top, to which we are now trampling the way, is the Bogdanovich Glacier. This is perhaps the closest glacier to Almaty. Thanks, guys. I cannot believe that I overcame this stage, but it was worth it. It's beautiful here. We have reached it. Well done. Well done, Diana. Today we climbed to the peak of 3,800 meters, the first category of complexity for novice alpinists. There are tours here. Usually climbers make bivouacs here and continue to go on higher rises. But you know, for me, even this rise was quite complicated, and I think that real mountaineers need to prepare to do this, train and have the strength of mind. Let us now put up a tent, and we will make a stop here for climbers at an altitude. Great, always dreamed of trying. Any climb is an adrenaline rush, a surge of emotions. They are at the maximum. They cannot be conveyed in words. They can only be felt by climbing this peak. And each time, rising even on the same peak, completely different feelings arise, completely different, because different seasons, different ascents. On the same peak, you can walk from different sides in different categories of complexity. The mountains of Kazakhstan are an inexhaustible source for fans to conquer the peaks. The relief allows one to climb any level of complexity, from weekend hikes to professional category routes. One can say unequivocally, all efforts are worth it to stand on top of a majestic mountain and look at the world around you through the eyes of a soaring eagle. Our film crew follows the numerous trails of sports tourism, the routes of which run through the mountains and steppes, forests and deserts landscapes of our country. Join us now. Kazakhstan is even more interesting with us.